frame Fatale. It's been happening all week. So starting on Sunday, we are going all the way through this Saturday, every 4 p.m. until 12 a.m. with lots of amazing runs, speed runs, and races done by the women in our community. So today, as we are benefiting Malala Fund, I am here with Sarah Albright, who is the Development Associate. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Hi, everyone.
How are you, Sarah?
I'm great, thanks. I'm so excited to be here and so excited to be a part of this wonderful event.
Awesome. Well, we're happy to have you and happy to talk to you, of course. So, I wanted to ask more about your position as development associate and kind of what that means, what you do.
Yeah, of course. So I work on the fundraising team or the development team, and our goal is essentially to raise funds to support all of our programs, like the Education Champion Network, which I'm sure you've heard about from the other staff members that you've spoken to.
Hmm.
My particular role is that I track all the money. And then in terms of fundraising, I specifically focus on building relationships with our grassroots supporters.
That's awesome. And so within all that, what kind of drew you to Malala Fund specifically?
There are many things that drew me to Malala Fund. Of course, Malala is such an inspiration. I remember when I was in school and I learned about her story, we're around the same age. So I remember thinking about how that could happen, and how me and my classmates sometimes had taken our education for granted. And even though I loved school so much, it was just such a different reality that she was living. And so, of course, Malala drew me to the organization, but also our model in the Education Champion Network. Something that's really unique about Malala Fund is that we support local activists, education activists. And so that was also hugely what drew me to Malala Fund.
That's awesome. So it's really nice to hear how many things happen locally for you, and just knowing that you've taken your experiences and wanted something more for others based on that. Like, I'm sure you've had a wonderful education yourself. It's just, it inspires you to want others to have that or more, which is wonderful. And I appreciate the work that you're doing with them. So, what do you think rang out the most with you with Malala? Like how, hearing about her story and all of that, like what is I'd say like the key thing that inspires you or motivates you about it?
Yeah, absolutely. The courage and the activism,
Mhm.
the willingness and boldness to speak up and to advocate for the change and that you want to see in your community and speak truth to power, whether it's our education champions who are doing that work or it's the girls who we amplify their voices through Assembly, our digital publication and newsletter.
Right. I have heard about that. Is there a specific example from the assembly that you can think of that really has spoken to you?
There are so many.
Well, pick one or two. It's okay. If you
Sure,
can.
sure. I can also share about our education champions.
Yeah.
For example, I have specifically worked with and gotten to know an education champion named Hiba Hamzi, and she works in Lebanon. And her organization, NABA, works to ensure that girls, Syrian refugee girls, receive an education despite being displaced from their communities. And so a couple of years ago, back in 2018, I went with Hiba when I first started as an intern at Malala Fund to the UN General Assembly. And I got to witness Hiba speaking in front of Trudeau, Macron, and like really advocating to the leaders about why girls' education is so important. And it's been really amazing to see that type of advocacy really come to fruition.
Hmm. That's amazing. It's wonderful to hear about all these awesome things that women are doing to just promote women in education. So within the assembly, is there anything more that you could tell those at home watching, like just about kind of how it works and the best ways to check it out, things like that?
Yes, absolutely. So, Assembly, I'll just say it again, just in case anyone joining, is our digital publication
Right.
and newsletter. And we feature content from girls all around the world, so not exclusive to the countries that we work in. And so, I would encourage everyone at home to check it out on our website and also to submit their own ideas and stories. So, if anyone has um, a topic that they're passionate about or idea that they're passionate about that they want to submit to Assembly, we'd look forward to receiving it.
That would be great. So make sure to check that out. It's assembly.malalafund.org, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Yes. Okay. just want to remind everyone at home, assembly.malalafund.org. Definitely go check it out. I've already heard some amazing stories this week. I can't wait to hear more. Now, when it comes to like women in education, what is there anything specifically that drew you to working with women, or was it more so just Malala's story, or what about that?
Yeah, I went to an all-girls school, high school growing up, and our school motto was "Girls can do anything." So that I think that the affinity to working with girls and women has always been near and dear to my heart, and has been something that I grew up in. And so, with that, I think that women and girls really are at the center of their community, and they're the ones who have the power
Mhm.
to change the norms and challenge the different policies. But so specifically with women and girls in education, I really see it as an opportunity to unlock potential and to support girls achieve their dreams.
I agree. I agree. So with all the things that you'd like for them to achieve, is there something that you're working on for the future or that you would like to envision for the future with Malala Fund?
Sure. I'm actually working on putting together a student leadership program for our supporters so that all of our student supporters can get more engaged formally with Malala Fund. And that's definitely my dream and a long term goal.
That's awesome. Can you explain a little bit more about how the leadership program's working?
Sure, it's still in very early phases and it's not implemented yet, but we want to amplify and further lift up a lot of the student fundraisers and students who are raising awareness and support for Malala Fund. So we've had some students who have had chess tournaments for Malala Fund,
Chess
trade
tournaments?
things like that, and so really just like amplifying their work and lifting it up.
Wait, you said chess tournaments?
Yeah,
That's really
we're seeing
cool.
virtual chess tournaments.
Oh, that's really cool. I've noticed that chess has been gaining popularity this year, especially on Twitch. So, in that vein, do you actually have any experience with gaming, anything like that before?
Yeah, I have a tiny bit of experience with gaming.
Okay,
I love Tetris. Me and my
awesome.
sisters are always really competitive with it, but yeah, that's I would say the extent of my gaming experience.
So I would say that working with Frame Fatale has been newer for you. Were you around for? So you were around for the last event as well. Like, is um have you had any, I'm trying to think about the right way to ask this, but, like, with your experiences, like, watching any of the speedruns, like, what has it been like for you to see
So
gaming like this?
exciting, so
Yeah.
exciting. Like really, I find it therapeutic to watch in a way. Like I remember last year we were all sitting in the office, like just like eyes glued to the screen watching. And I've really enjoyed it, and I'm enjoying it this year too.
What do you think is most interesting to you about it if you all were just sitting there glued to it?
um, how quick it is. Like for
Yeah,
one thing, just like how quickly everyone's getting through all the different games. It's been fun to read all the comments too, um, the competitiveness and also the camaraderie, like the collaboration and teamwork too. So yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah, yeah.
it's a
I
lot.
agree though. I mean, that's so much of what draws me into speedrunning as well. That's kind of how I got into Twitch in the first place. I've always found speedrunning really fascinating. And I think that amplifying women's voices in speedrunning and encouraging more women to speedrun is, it makes sense why, we want to work with Malala Fund. I just think it's great. Like, give women a voice, give them a platform. So, anything else that you think would be good for the audience to know about your experiences or about Malala Fund in general?
Just how grateful we all are and excited we all are to be participating in this event. We really, really cannot thank you enough, and cannot I can't stress enough how appreciative we are. So thank you and keep up the great work.
Well, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure talking with you today. I really appreciate it. Once again, this is Sarah Albright with Malala Fund, who is the development associate. So I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you so much once again. And coming up next, we have some wonderful runs today, like Castlevania, Cow the Kangaroo, King's Quest 4, McDonald's Treasure, and Treasureland Adventures, Octodad, Ori, Pokemon. It's going to be a really fun day. So we will be getting to that very shortly. But first, we're going to head over and learn about some prizes.
Snorlax. So, hey everyone, and welcome back to Really? Really? You took my chair too. Really? All right. You know what? It's your day. I'll just get down here. It's your day after all. Welcome back to Frame Fatale's 2020 online. My name is Sent, and I am here to tell you about all of the amazing new prizes that you could potentially win by making a donation today. Prizes like this amazing beanbag Snorlax chair. Don't worry, we'll get to it later. We have so many great prizes to talk about. I can't wait to talk about them. And the good news is I don't have to wait to talk about them because that's exactly what we're going to do right now. Now, from our good friends over at the Legends of Localization team and Fangamer, we have this book, one of my favorite book in the Legends of Localization series. This be book, Bad Translation, Video Games. It's a $5 minimum donation all day today, and it's a super cool book. It's basically a guided tour through video games and sort of good and bad, but mostly bad, translations and localizations of different games. From Zero Wing Katz's very famous line, all your base are belong to us, everything Katz says is just a wonderful translation nightmare, to even more modern stuff, like one of my favorite localization issues, the GBA port of Tales of Fantasia used a spell checker to check all the text through the game. Unfortunately, it didn't recognize the word Ragnarok and replaced it with the word kangaroo. This led to some very, very interesting plot lines for everyone who wasn't Australian. The Australians know exactly what the kangaroos did. It's a $5 minimum donation. It's a super fun read. Definitely check it out. Now, for a $10 minimum donation, our friend Puzzle P sent us not one, but two absolutely beautiful little paintings here. We have a Pokemon-themed one as well as a King's Quest-themed one. And I'm going to hold them up to the camera so hopefully you can get a bit of a better view of them. They are individual prizes, but they are both a $10 minimum donation. Let's see if hopefully it'll focus on that. There we go, got a little better. They're from Puzzle P, and I absolutely love Puzzle P style. It's just so freeform and beautiful. It really deeply reminds me of like the doodles you would do in a notebook in high school, but just sort of taken to another artistic level. Here's a Pikachu one as well. Huge fan of these. Thank you so much, Puzzle P, for sending them out. Now, from our good friends over at Studio Pen Pen, we have this lovely Pallet Town mouse pad. It's a mouse pad with an image of Pallet Town from Gen 1, or the remakes if you prefer. It's super cool. It's a $10 minimum donation. You could use it as a mouse pad. You could hang it up as artwork. You could put it on my face. I don't think that'll do anything, but you could if you win it with a $10 minimum donation today. Now, also for a $10 minimum donation today, from Myri Lindsay, we have this absolutely beautiful Ori and the Blind Forest block print. It is super cool. It's got all of the important characters of Ori. It's called the Family Tree. I really want to go into why it's called the Family Tree, but I also don't because it's a little spoilery, and Ori is a great series. We'll be seeing a speedrun of it later tonight. Definitely give it a watch. It's such a great game casually and as a speedrun. This is a $10 minimum donation for the print. Super cool, block print, basically etched out, etched out a block, covered in paint, slap it down on the paper, and you get this beautiful result. Again, a $10 minimum donation today. And of course, it's been behind me this whole time. We have, from a very generous anonymous donor, this super cool Snorlax beanbag chair. It is a fairly large beanbag chair, if you can't tell. It is about the size of the chair that I've been sitting in this entire event. It's absolutely amazing. It's a $25 minimum donation today, so $25 will get you in for a chance to win this Snorlax beanbag chair, as well as all of the other prizes I've just talked about today. But that's not all, because a $25 donation will also get you a quarter of the way into the entry for our grand prize. Now, our grand prize, if you haven't been able to see it yet, is an absolutely beautiful piece of synthetic Alexandrite with one of its faces cut into the shape of a Triforce. It looks super great. In fact, if you'll direct your attention right about to where my face is, we have a lovely video of it rotating around and catching the light. It's covering me up right now, but frankly, that's for the best. It's so cool. I am more than happy to get behind it. It is absolutely beautiful. Huge shout outs to Ryan56K for sending that into us and answering all of the questions we've had about what makes Alexandrite such an interesting gemstone. If you didn't know, Alexandrite, synthetic Alexandrite, has a cool feature where under natural white light, it is this, it changes colors basically. It's this very deep blue under a natural white light, but if you put it under a more yellow incandescent light, it'll actually shift to a purplish red. Really cool. Hopefully, I'll have a video of that sometime a little bit later this week to show it off. Again, huge shout out to Ryan56K for making that happen and sending it out to us. And that is a $100 minimum donation, but it's cumulative throughout the event. So, like I said, donate $25. You'll get entered into all of the prizes I just talked about today. Donate $25 3 other times throughout the marathon, and you've got an entry into that grand prize. And as always, you can head over to gamesdonequick.com. You can check out the tracker. It's got all the information you need on upcoming speedruns. There are so many cool speedruns today. Like Fu mentioned, I am looking forward to all of them. On upcoming incentives, you can put your donations towards. I believe there are actually several really interesting ones today, so you should go check them out. Because remember, you don't have to donate specifically for the prizes. You can put those donations towards incentive. And of course, all of the amazing prizes you could win. That's going to do it for me. So let's send it back up to the front and get ready for that Castlevania Order of Ecclesia run. You wanna go get it?
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to this, our day three of Fleet Fatales 2020. My name is Zoe Vermillion. I'll be your host to lead off the day. We are getting things set up for our first run, the Castlevania Order of Ecclesia Shanoa Any Percent, run by Brooke. So that'll be coming its way very soon. I hope you're as excited for that as I am. But before we get into that, I have a really cool kind of announcement here to make. You all may know that the Yeti has been the official merch supporter of Games Done Quick events since 2011. And I'm happy to announce the Yeti is donating $5 per Fleet Fatale shirt sold to Malala Fund. You can find the shirts at theyeti.com. And you heard me right. I said the words Fleet Fatale shirt. It's a really, really cool design. You should definitely go check it out. Once again, that's theyeti.com if you are interested in that. And while we are waiting, I got a couple of great donations here. We have $5 from Ice Flower, who says, "Stuffed animal cam? Well, here's some money for that incentive. Stuffed animals are super cuddly and make the best companions." And I definitely have to agree. Thank you for that donation, Ice Flower. And we have $50 from LD. "Glad to make a donation to a great cause. Malala is an inspiring female role model, and the Malala Fund is doing great work. Keep it up." Thank you, LD. We also have a couple of $25 donations. We have Chaos Oobaloo and RPG Gamer 34, both with $25 donations with no comment. But thank you both so very much. Airnick15 donates $10. It says, "Excited for the Pokemon run tonight." Thank you, Airnick. I'm sure we're all excited too. I know I am. And for those of you who maybe missed the first couple days of the marathon and aren't quite sure what Malala Fund is, Malala Fund is working for a world where all girls can learn and lead. Malala Fund advocates for resources and policy changes needed to give all girls a secondary education, invests in local education leaders, and amplifies the voices of girls fighting for change. I personally think it's a great charity and a wonderful cause for Fleet Fatales to be raising money for. We have a $50 donation from Dr. Goldfire with no comment. But thank you so much for your generous donation. And a reminder that donations that you make go towards the awesome prizes that Sent just showed off, as well as if you put them towards some of these incentives that are flashing across your screen, we'll be able to get some more great content for you. I know I personally am really looking forward to this King's Quest 6 incentive. We are about $1,500 shy of that. So I would love it if we could get that met here today, as well as the Ori stuffed animal cam and the Cal the Kangaroo virtual race. All of those are going to be fantastic to watch. We have $25 donated by Katie. I'm assuming I'm pronouncing that correctly. It says, thanks, pals, for all you do. Well, thank you so much, Katie. We're happy to be here putting on this marathon for you all and raising money for a great cause. We have another $25 donation. This time it is anonymous with no comment, but thank you so much, Anonymous, for your generous donation. Hope you're enjoying the marathon. And if you're just now tuning in, just wanted to give y'all a heads up. We are still setting up for the first run of the day, Castlevania Order of Ecclesia, Should Know at Any Percent by Brooke. And we will have that coming to you very shortly. All right. And we have another $25 anonymous donation. Thank you so much, Anonymous. You're being very generous today. I hope you are enjoying the marathon. We are going to take a quick break so I can take a sip of water, but we'll be back on the other side. So hang tight, everyone. And we are back. And I am back with more donations. We have another $25 donation, and I'm absolutely going to butcher this name, but I'm going to give it my best shot. Arius Villar says, thanks for putting on a great show in support of an awesome charity. Putting this towards hearing Girl in the Tower from King's Quest 6, because who doesn't love 90s cheese? I know I love cheesy things from the 90s, but if you still have some cheese from the 90s floating around, I maybe wouldn't love it that much. $25 donated by Mr. Matter G says speedruns and charity is the combo of the century. I would have to agree. Kay donates $10 with no comment. Perfectly okay, and we thank you for the $10 donation nonetheless. Braden Chapman donates $25. Let's hear it for Castlevania. A question. Who is everyone's favorite Belmont, or alternatively, favorite Castlevania track? Uh, I must say that I am partial to Richter and Bloody Tears. And now I have Bloody Tears stuck in my head. So thank you, Braden. We've got $25 donated by Mr. Spiffy. First time getting to catch one of these events live. Glad to be able to donate during these trying times. Please keep safe, happy, and healthy, everyone. You as well, Mr. Spiffy. Thank you so much for your kind donation. And a reminder that a $25 single donation gets you a chance to win that humongous and oh so comfortable Snorlax beanbag chair that the wonderful Scent showed off earlier. It also gets you a quarter of the way towards having a chance at the Alexandrite Triforce, our grand prize for this event. So if you are interested in either of those, get those donations in. And someone else wanting to get in on that prize action, we have $25 from Something Hill Zone. No comment, but got themselves an entry for that Snorlax plush. Thank you so much. And a $10 donation from Setter Wind with no comment, but that is enough for a entry for the Pallet Town mouse pad and one of the other prizes that I have since forgotten as they scroll by the screen.